Miles north of Edmonton, in the muskeg country of northern Alberta, is this small Cree settlement called Chipewyan Lakes. Not too many people from the outside come here, and they don't know how the people live in this place. And so they say that Indian people put up teepees only for the big celebrations, like the Calgary Stampede. They say that the people don't live in teepees anymore, but they are wrong. Most of the time, the women here buy about 40 yards of canvas to make a teepee. When this canvas wasn't too expensive, sometimes they would get 50 yards, and then they could sew a large teepee. Amelia Noskei is good for making teepees because she has learned well and has been doing this work for many years. She can sew a teepee and have it up before the sun sets in one day. Not many girls in the settlement know how to measure up canvas for a teepee. So when the older people die, I don't think there will be any more teepees in this place. These young girls like to help their grandmother when they are not in school. They are learning about the old ways and the new ways at the same time. But I suppose you can say that the new direction is the stronger of the two. Soon the path of the old people will be unused, covered over by tall grasses. Her husband, Charlowich, is going to work on a small cabin today, so his axe has got to cut well. Then in the late afternoon, he will go into the bush to get the teepee poles. In the old days, all the sewing on the canvas was done by hand. So when a woman got to thinking about a teepee, she would tell her relatives about it. And on the day she started, her sisters or mother or maybe one of her aunts would get to work on that teepee with her. Nowadays, just about all the women here have a sewing machine like Amelia's, and they don't have to call on relatives to help.
Gusto sa gani?
The sewing will be going on until late afternoon to finish. Because even when the long pieces are sewn together, the flap for the door opening must be made. And at the same time, Amelia has other chores around the house to look after. She has to stop her sewing work to prepare dinner and also make sure the fish are turned when they're smoking and get water from the lake. But not everybody will work a long, hard day. For there is a time in life when play is important too. When Amelia just about finishes sewing the canvas, it is time for Charlewitch to do some work for the teepee. He doesn't have to walk very far from the cabin to cut down some spruce for teepee poles. But to get those young spruce that are growing straight, you have to go to certain places. To find these trees, the best thing is to go near the muskeg. And in the bush, a man must work pretty fast, because it is the best place for mosquitoes too. Charlewitch can handle an axe real well, and he won't spend much time. Maybe it will take him 15 minutes to chop down and trim the trees. Long since before the white man came, it was job for women to look after the teepees. The woman would sew the hides the men brought from the hunt, and the women were the ones to put up the teepees. Sometimes, if the man was near, he would help to raise the canvas. work goes pretty fast to put up a teepee, especially if the women got someone helping. A teepee not too big takes about 25 minutes for to put up the poles and wrap the canvas. Teepees around the North Muskeg country were not very large anyway. It was those Indians on the plains put up large teepees and painted them with many designs. These Crees up north, they didn't decorate their teepees. Now there is another teepee standing in Chipewyan Lakes. But this one is not ready for sleeping in yet. The canvas has to be pulled together in the front part and held there with some wooden pegs. And after the canvas is made tight all around too, so you have to push the poles back a little and pull the canvas to the ground. Working on a warm summer evening is sometimes not too good when the mosquitoes and flies are around. They bother the horses too, but Charlewich looks after his horses well, and he will make a smudge fire so they can be near the smoke. After the teepee is trimmed along the bottom, the women mostly put spruce branches all around the bottom, and sometimes all around on the inside too. This helps to stop the cool air in the night from coming in. And spruce branches make a good place to put blankets over for sleeping. Soon the teepee will hold the warmth of a fire, and smoke will rise from it, and it will speak to the people, telling them that this is a home.